Rahim, I've got to ask you, where does AJ, where does Fury fit into this? Fury at the moment says he's retired. Let's start with Fury. Is he retired? Do you believe he's retired?
Fury is the guy on the sidelines heckling. You know that at any moment he might enter the fight. You know that guy that sits on the bar stool while everybody is mixing it up? Is you gonna let him get away with that? You gonna let him get away with that? He's that guy, and at any moment he might step his foot right into the center and decide that he wants to be the man again. You just don't know with Fury, and I think everything he does is calculating. He is looking, I believe, for the best opportunity for his return. If I'm gonna be the spoiler of the party. I don't think he wants to fight AJ, if I'm honest.
Well,
I think he wants to fight the winner of Dubois and Parker.
Listen, I don't care who he wants to fight. Tyson Fury, I know you're going to be watching this. If you are watching this, come on, big man, get back in the ring. We need you. There's big fights out there, and Anthony Joshua is that guy that we want to see. We need to see that fight. You know, we're talking about modern eras, legacies. You need to have the fight, mate. That is the fight that I want to see, and I know AJ wants to fight.
And that's why Fury won't give it to us, because he wants to be the guy who dictates what we see and when we see it. He keeps walking AJ down the aisle and not saying I do.
Yeah.
He loves winding this guy up and making everybody know that he's the one who gets to decide where and when. That is one of the ways he wins the first round of every fight, just getting in the other guy's head and not doing what he's supposed to do. He's going to make AJ wait, and I think there's a lot of fights out there for AJ. People who are saying that he's done or he should be hanging him up are absolutely ridiculously wrong. I think AJ's got more left in the tank. I would love to see him fight Dubois again if he, is successful come Saturday night. And I think the Joseph Parker fight rematch, Joseph Parker has earned that.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of fights. Zhang could be the fight for AJ.
Listen, can I do this? Can I do this? Do I dare say Deontay Wilder? Could we see AJ versus Deontay Wilder? There's talk of Deontay Wilder returning. Could we get that in Africa? Francis Ngannou are hearing that as well.
Listen, you're talking to an American. I want
Come on.
Wilder,
Come on.
Joshua, any day of the week, anytime, set him up, let's play, I'm there. I am not one of these believers that Wilder is done. I think he needs the right opponent right now, and he needs to build that confidence back. I think he gets up for the Joshua fight. There's no telling who wins that fight. That big right hand is still there. He's just got to land it and believe that he can continue boxing to set it up. He just doesn't have to rely on that hand. He has to be able to set it up and get Joshua lined up with it, and if he does, we all know that it's very likely that that lands on Joshua, and that's the end of the fight. For the same reason I say Joshua is not done is because he's got that big right hand as well. He's an acumen fighter. He's got something to prove. This is as good a time for them to fight as it was when it would have been undisputed. It's just different circumstances, but the same kind of thing waiting in the balance. Is one of these guys going to continue, and is one of these guys going to really be done?
Come on, you heavyweights. We need to get this together. Listen, why I just mentioned that, actually, and I want to get into that. Africa. We believe there's going to be a fight in Africa. I've mentioned Deontay Wilder. Francis Ngannou's around. We know there's Anthony Joshua around. There's big fights to be made out there. Do you think that's something we could see as well?
It's something we have to see. First of all, the 50th anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle deserves to be revisited. And if it's going to be in the Congo, it's got to be Martin Bakole. No question about it. I don't know who's going to be on the other side of that ring, but Bakole has got to be there. I would love it to be Anthony Joshua. I mean, and listen, he's not afraid, Anthony Joshua. I believe he would take that fight. If the money is right, the stage would certainly be big enough, and he has a heart of a warrior, wants to prove that he's got something left, and wants to slay the boogeyman. It's the same kind of thing as Rumble in the Jungle. Everyone's going to be expecting the big puncher for Bakole to knock out the flashy, more bigger star in Joshua, and Joshua has to come and shake up the world.
Come on, man. I can't wait for these fights. Let's make those heavyweight fights. We need those. We need that modern legacy to happen. What a fight we've got there as well. Hold on a minute. I think we got a guest. In the house.
Here, Johnny. You're the big man. Come on.
Yeah, we only called him about half an hour ago. Don't worry, better late than never. Come on, Johnny. Listen, mate, what do you make about that tonight?
You know what? I actually think this is going to be such a mad bill. So 4 o'clock, Sky, come on. We're starting with Smith, Buatsi. That fight could fill out any arena. You look at every fight on this bill, it could top any bill. It is mad. And then we've been talking about Parker and Dubois, but that's not even top of the bill. You've got Bivol against Beterbiev. What a mad fight. To me, as a fighter, they say this is one of the greatest bills we've seen. I'm old enough to remember Don King putting some mad bills together. This modern day is one of the best builds I've seen. And Riyadh Season's doing an amazing job.
Listen, we've been talking for about half an hour here, going through this card, and we ain't even got to Joshua Boatsi versus Callum Smith yet. That is the depth of the card and how good it is, Johnny. I mean, in all the years that we've been in boxing, and we've travelled around, like you, radio as well, never seen anything like this, man. For the boxing fan, right from top to bottom, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. And remember this. Remember, I looked, when I saw Boatsi Smith, I thought, Smith lost it. Because this is a dangerous fight. And then Smith walked out. They announced this guy's success rate. You talked about what he'd done as a champion, and he's been beaten by 2 people. His resume is mad. And so Joshua Boatsi has to prove he's the fighter we're all expecting him to be, because Smith has already done that, and Smith has only lost to the best. So that's why I think this fight, I think 2 fights go the distance. Only 2. Ortiz and the top of the bill. Every other fight gets stopped inside the distance.
Radio, take it away, man.
You know, Johnny, there's no superstars on this card. Anybody can be the shine on the night.
Stevenson wouldn't say that.
They'd all say it about themselves, but nobody has enough room from the others to say that they are the breakout star until Saturday night. If you had to pick who might make up the most distance in their stardom, who might come out on Saturday night the biggest shine, who's that going to be?
Oh, that's a toughie, man. That's a toughie. But you know what? I think it's going to be the fashion of the win. Damn. I'm going to look at, oh man. Man, I just was about to say one, then I looked at other, I looked at
That's
Smith.
the beauty of this card.
I looked at Dubois, I looked at Stevenson. It's just, oh man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. So you know what? For once, I'm sitting on the fence.
Right, listen. Splinters again. Don't worry about that. We'll move on, because I've got a subject I want to talk to you about. And I know that you're going to say something. You might be a little bit controversial about it as well. I want to talk about the heavyweights, the current crop of heavyweights, and the current heavyweights that have retired that may be making a comeback.
Retired. Listen, over there you've got Frank Warren and you've got Eddie Hearn stood there. They're talking. I'm talking to Spencer Brown. You know what? Tyson Fury today believes he's retired. He ain't done. We're still fighters. We still think we can fight. But so there's no way he's done. He's going to sit at home on Saturday night. He's going to watch this fight and think, I'm having some of this. I don't care what they say. You've got Anthony Joshua. We've not picked the next opponent coming through yet in regards to not mentioning it. But I bet you one thing. I bet if Joseph Parker wins, all of a sudden he'll have a name in his mouth. You remember when Lennox Lewis boxed Hassan when he was drunk in the ring and he said, I want a rematch. He said it in the ring. I'm telling you that if Joseph Parker wins, that is the name that's in his ass. But
Right.
Anthony Joshua will be shouting out. He should be shouting out Dubois.
Do me a favour. While we're on the heavyweights, I want you to rank the heavyweights. Where do they sit right now? Forget Tyson Fury's retired. Right, we've got Alexander Usyk there. He's waiting to see what goes on with the winner of this. We've got young fighters coming through. We've got Usyk at 1.
Yeah.
This is now going to get interesting. Who's at number 2?
You know, officially, you've got
Come
to
on, man.
you've got to look at Danny Dubois. You've got to look at Danny Dubois, and you know what? You've got number 1, and he's put himself in a great place. Joseph Parker's put it's ranked perfectly. This is what Riyadh Season is about. Number 1 fighting number 2, number 2 fighting number 3, and you've got to look at them coming through. Then you've got to look at the young crop.
Before we get to the young crop, you mentioned number 3 there. Go on.
Number three was of course Joseph Parker.
Number 4.
And number 4, oh, come on, man.
Come on, man.
You know what? I tell you what. Look on the bill. We'll see on Saturday night, because if Zhilei Zhang, could it be Zhilei Zhang, or will he get turned over? I think it can be. So you've got to be careful. You've got to think about what's there.
If it is Dubois, and we see Usyk Dubois 2, does it change this time out, and how?
No, I don't. I think Usyk is the kind of guy that once you box him once, he's downloaded your blueprint. He's got you, man. And always the second fight's easy. He did it with Joshua. He did it with Fury, and he'll do it with Dubois.
Is it the same?
He's smarter than them all.
Is it the same blueprint for Dubois now that he's, I think, changed significantly since
nothing
last?
changes apart from that for Dubois. That's the only thing that changed. But Usyk, too slick, too clever, too smart, too sharp. He's got so much talent in regards to the crop that's out there. He can think, he can fight, he can box, he can do the lot.
Give me AJ versus Fury. Will that fight ever happen? The public want to see it. We want to see it. Do you think it happens?
It doesn't happen if AJ or Fury boxes anybody else in between then and now. It's got to happen. And I think this is about negotiation. You know, Eddie got it right. He said he's trying to push the price up. You can't say I'm retired today, I want half a bill the day after.
Where does AJ Fury sit in this current crop right now? Where would you rank them right now?
I'd put him in the top 5 to 10.
Whoa, top 5 to 10. I need something a little bit more
5 to
specific.
10. Okay, you'd say.
Right, you've gone Usyk one,
yeah,
right?
I'd say you've got to put Fury above AJ. So I'd put him at 6. I'd put AJ at 7.
Wow.
For now, Because remember, you've got your kids like Moses Atamu that are coming through.
I was going to ask you.
You've got Fabio Wardley that's coming through. You've got them coming through. These guys are dangerous young lions coming through. And when they're there, man.
Can Moses take over in 12 months?
Yes, he can, without a doubt. He is such an underrated, unassuming young man, but he's an animal.
Radio, I want to hear that from you as well, actually.
Moses is one of these guys that we're not talking about at the top of the division yet.
We shouldn't.
But
We shouldn't talk about him yet. Give the boy time to grow.
And not only does he need time to grow, he needs tough challenges before he gets to the elite level. It's the potential thing is always a stone in my pocket. I don't like to elevate these guys until they've actually done something of significance. Everybody looks great when you're a talent against mediocre competition.
Year, the heavyweight landscape will have changed completely. And these young men that we're talking about, Wardley, Moses, these guys will be the young ones that you're thinking, wow. And then we'll be getting excited to the end of next year to see them not fighting.
Johnny Nelson,
Peace.
as always, my friend,
Peace
thank you so much, man, and we'll see you tomorrow. Top man. Well, that was great, man.
One thing
that was great.
I'd like to pick up on what Johnny said about this next generation. The question is, when does it tick over, right? I mean,
12 months.
12 months.
12 months, it'll all change. 12 months that we'll see this current generation, the current top crop of heavyweights that are in the twilight. They'll all be gone in the next 12 months or so, and they'll box each other. We've seen those couple of fights, and you have the young crop coming through. But listen, we're waffling on a little bit here. I'm cold. We're in Saudi Arabia. Look, I've got Johnny Nelson's jacket on. It's absolutely freezing. I've only packed shorts, flip-flops, T-shirts, and I need to go, man. I'm cold.
I'm the American from California. I'm doing just fine. You're supposed to be from England with all the chilly weather. What's going on?
You know what they say.
You know what I mean? I'm a gunner, everything. I'm the real Brit here now. I'm taking over.
Mate, I'm a Southern softie. But on that note, thanks for watching the Fight Night Daily Podcast. You can catch us across all the talkSPORT platforms all through the week. Until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.